was into his car. Shot. There's a mass confusion there. Rolling and fighting. As he was being let out, now he's being let back. He was thrown to the ground. The police have the entire area blocked off. Everybody stand back. There's a yell. Did you see it?
Controlling transmission.
It will signal your subconscious mind, flashing a message.
Are you suffering from
information overload? You suffering from information overload?
These telememory tapes will introduce you to
Bob Dobbs.
You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Welcome, dear friends, to another transcribed radio adventure of the Subgenius Show, broadcasting live from Bob's Country Bunker in Weott, California, and brought to you by the worldwide radio outreach ministries of the Church of the Subgenius and the supporters of KSHU.
Will signal your subconscious mind, flashing a message.
Bob. Your genitals. Your genitals. Look with your closed eyes at your genitals and say to your genitals, in your mind, relax.
Baby, baby. Baby, baby.
3, 2, and 1. Now to continue with the tape recording.
Superior mutants, repent, quit your job, slack off. The world ends tomorrow and you may die.
Well, no, probably not, but whatever you do, just keep listening. Are we controlled by secret forces?
Do you ever get the feeling that free will is a joke? Do people think you're strange?
Do you? Then you may be on the right track.
Are you abnormal? Then you are probably better than most people. Yes, your kind shall triumph.
Now, at last, the step-by-step process is revealed. This is it, the only fate that promises action, thrills, success in sex and business.
Having all the guilt, but none of the sex. Having intercourse with a beautiful live girl, or damn near anything else. But you tried everything. You ain't seen nothing yet. Learn to think big.
Develop the tricks of length extension. Bring your weirdest dreams to rampaging life. Stand erect for your own abnormality.
Bob is a way of life to millions. Yet half of them don't even know it. He's the one true living slack master with the spiritual know-how to help you bash through the locked doorway to financial heaven. He is the one real shortcut to slack.
Now, see another dimension on your TV. Yes, fear the stark fist of removal no longer. Become physically attractive overnight. Attain status, luck, prosperity by blowing them off.
Bob's promise is to widen the scope and nature of abnormal behavior, to explore new ways of going over the edge, and coming right back.
Was to bring back those who couldn't make it on their own. To help you create the highest possible earnings from the psychodynamics of abnormality. To turn conspiracy-implanted personality disorders around.
And channel them into an illusion of creativity that will fool normals and get you sex.
Nip tired in the last. Let me slobber on your neck. Let me drool down your chest.
I'm not prejudiced. I don't care if he's a Jew, a black, Italian, Chinese. If he messes with me, I'll shoot him. He's got complete equality as he drops to the ground.
Baby, baby. Baby, baby.
Don't forget that Bob has come to, has prophesied the end of the world, July 5th, 1998. Okay? When most Americans will have hangovers, but it's not just for the Americans, it's for everyone in the world. Yeah, right. That is why. Yeah, start smoking, start drinking, and live it up. Start fornicating as if your very life depended on it.
Children, we are the first real Americans. We know what America is before they took it away from us and tried to sell it back to us for a profit.
And as long as you can't buy slack, the conspiracy cannot win. $1.
Surface of Mars, you are greeted by a hungry, welcoming committee.
Tooth and a nose for a nose. I don't know what the hell that means, but it sounds brilliant.
Oh, Miles, you were absolutely wonderful. Just think, Erno's plan worked.
What do you mean, Erno's plan? What was I through all of that?
What do you mean you? It was Erno's plan.
Look, I cannot get into this discussion about Erno with you. I'm getting a hostility ache and a migraine headache now, and I haven't seen my analyst in 200 years, and he was a strict Freudian, and if I'd been going all this time, I'd probably almost be cured by now.
Miles, Erno's going to lead the revolution and head the new government.
Look, don't you understand? In 6 months, we'll be stealing Erno's nose. Political solutions don't work. I told you that. It doesn't matter who's up there. They're all terrible. You know, the political men... What are you looking at me like that for?
I think you really love me.
Of course I love you. This is what this is all about. And you love me. I know that, and I don't blame you, honey. You know, and I'm not knocking Erno. You know, he's great if you happen to like a tall blonde Prussian, Nordic, Aryan, Nazi type. You know, he's...
But Miles, don't you see meaningful relationships between men and women don't last? That was proven by science. You see, there's a chemical in our bodies that makes it so that we all get on each other's nerves sooner or later.
Hey, that's science. I don't believe in science. You know, science is an intellectual dead end. You know, it's a lot of little guys in tweed suits cutting up frogs on foundation grants and...
Oh, I see. You don't believe in science, and you also don't believe the political systems work, and you don't believe in God, huh?
Right.
So then, what do you believe in?
Sex and death. Two things that come once in my lifetime. But at least after death, you're not nauseous.
This is a test of the emergency Bobcast system. The broadcasters in your area have arranged these tests to notify you in case of an actual landing of the Exist saucers. Had this been an actual landing, and you were still an unconverted heathen pink boy swine puppy, you would be frying for your sins at this very moment. Frank Bender.
Frank Bent? Excuse me?
No, pardon me. Page 23, conspiracy. Frank Bender.
Yeah, Frank Bent with a ER on it.
Cover name of the CI director in preparation.
Yeah, he used to call our show in Berkeley all the time and bother us.
Thank goodness no one bothers us here.
Good morning, children. You're listening to the Church of the Subgenius radio show on 90.5 FM, KHSU in Arcata. Bob's sponsored radio for the North Coast.
It's Disco Till Dawn. He's lying to you.
So give us a call out there at 826-4805. Let us know what you think is really going on out there.
And if you have any forensic evidence, we'd like to know.
Tissue samples are encouraged.
Blunt trauma. Audio bludgeon, yeah. Looking at the Zapruder family album here, everything's out of focus.
The Roto-Rooter family what?
The Roto-Zapruder, you know. Your camera stops up, you call the guys, they come in and tangle it for you.
It's kind of like being in hell, you know?
Schools where the false prophets are.
The thing is, by calling back, you have an option of actually showing up on the Subgenius album someday.
His victory by
Yes,
begging the
it's true.
question. Your voice could be used on almost anything, even this show. Well, you know you're being recorded, and your voice is going to be sent to almost every important member of the Subgenius Church within 24 hours.
And high-ranking
If you have anything really,
the FBI and the CIA.
To Philo or Stang or any of those scary people, you better say it real quick. They're waiting here for you.
Use the present tense. Yep, you're going to be filed away in the tomb, children.
Yeah.
Doctor, have him lie down. I think he's not very comfortable.
The Church of Spiritual Technology has been renting space in their giant storage unit.
I was in South America, not one person ever approached me and tried to sell me drugs. Not one. Now, I'm a hip guy.
So that the 10 years dead remains of L. Ron Hubbard shall live forever.
Well, you know, it's like any other storage unit. It's just a spiritual storage unit. The Subgenius, well, we've got a very big portion.
It's funny how they tried to say that guy died in 1986. Jeez, I think they missed the mark by about 6 years there.
Yeah, well, you know, he had his old frozen head propped up there. He and Walt Disney were swapping ideas.
Well, they kept his boat afloat out in the Pacific. Supposedly he was on board it and wouldn't let anybody aboard for like 4 years.
Well, Walt was giving him the cartoon ideas, and he was just, you know, translating it into like spiritual garbage.
Smoking too much of that.
As a matter of fact, if you've got a headache,
as we make these shows, all the recordings, all your calls, and everything will be stored in the vault. We've rented space from the Church of Spiritual Technology. We've got the whole Bob corridor there, the Subgenius corridor. All the gold CDs you heard about, that'll be us.
Did I pat your mama? She got the dust, she's got the leaves, she's got the green beef for you, boy. Oh, yeah. Yes, you get tiny little tablets. If you got to build a house, you get the little Pachamama tablets. You bury them in the ground.
Tablet form, pill form, liquid.
Yeah, come up out of the ground. And you know,
did you call up just for all these numbers, or do you want to really let Dobbs into your life?
He's writing now. We're at
box 1189. 2,000 down for Bob.
It's 20 cents.
You want to be washing the pee of Bob?
This is how we used to do the show.
Okay, then we'll give you those.
That's how we are doing the show.
Yeah. I think actually he's down at the 7-Eleven.
Yes, folks, this is a recycled show you're listening to. This is an actual show, so please don't call us at 826-4805.
Yeah. So he was going to go get a Bronto burger and a little Tyrannosaurus milk.
Huh, must have been scary.
There's one.
Dad Dinosaur lost his job, so now the whole family won't be able to evolve.
Subliminally at high speeds to induce uneasiness and tension in the viewers.
There's a tentacle
you
here.
get the feeling of having seen his face in this movie, but you can't quite tell exactly where.
My friends, these are scary thoughts for this hour.
He was just a salesman. That's why
pretty much.
Bob is left in his own private spaceship to go to Mars. Bob's gone for help, and we need dollars.
Dr. Brady is going into a trance
to communicate with him.
Now, Dr.
Brady, telephone, all through the great distances that we call outer space.
Oh, he got all sleepy and fell down, and the Octismo all ate him up. Well, sorry, we got to go to another caller.
Okay.
We're going to call you pretty soon. And you know who you are. We've got your numbers.
You know, I was afraid of this happening. We are only the thing that fills up the space between Sid Reagan and your saving grace.
No. This is where you are when you're on the telephone. Somewhere deep.
So let's go over that again. You say you saw some sort of monster?
Well, creeping from the inner chasms, yes. After severing the hemispheres.
Let's go over that again, caller. You say you saw some sort of monster?
I don't think there's any monster. I think a monster might be on the phone.
I don't think there's any caller.
Hey, you know, it's almost 4:20.
4:20. Dude, does that mean like we like do something like everybody does, and then we write it? You know, we like write 4:20 everywhere.
I don't know. It's almost there. We got 5 minutes.
Is that
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Is it an AM thing or a PM thing?
I can't hear you.
Is it like an AM thing or is it like a PM thing? Do you just like 4:20 all the time?
I can hear you now.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's go over that again, caller. You say you saw some sort of dinosaur?
And it's 420. That's 42. And it's
420. Yeah, it's sacrilegious. If you don't believe in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's this false cult running around about this 420 kind of stuff.
Is my voice on the air?
No. We have you in a holding cell for callers. It's an electronic thing. We have your voice is captured and then we relay it out to the show much later.
I see.
And we've also your phone is what prefix is that?
That was.
Let me type it in.
7.
Okay, got it right here. And there's your address. Well.
Oh. Okay.
Isn't radio wonderful, boy? We know all about you. You're sitting with your legs crossed, aren't you?
No.
You have hair on top of your head, don't you?
I bet you have lips.
I bet the little caller can't hear me.
Just barely.
Oh.
So, will you send me a brochure?
A brochure?
No, we'll give you one. Here, hold this.
Here's one. Wait, hold it up here.
The miracle of radio.
A brochure? Actually, how about would you like the travel brochure to Dobbstown?
Do you guys care if I take a bong hit on the air? Here, hold this.
Just say no, kids. As this unfortunate caller showed us, drugs are possibly explosive. And the false cult of 420. Let's talk about the leash.
Somewhere, someone is getting high.
Well, but he was asking us for a brochure, which means he's on the right path to salvation. He's going to be getting off that silly 420 stuff. I don't know how you can help it. I feel kind of goofy. Oh, man.
Because you are kind of goofy, Dr. Bogano.
I just spilled something all over my flared nylon double knits. Yeah. Well, I guess my 180 decibel waistcoat is only now a little less loud. Man. Get off work at 3 and be home by 2. Sport me. I want y'all to now just relax in the safety of your own delusions.
You thought I was doing homework. Well, I wasn't. But all you did was preach at me over and over. No one wanted to know how I felt. I'm living with some kids in a big old house, and we help each other. Come back. Come back before you're trapped in a life that daily grows more aimless and unreal. If you return, we three can reach each other by talking and listening. And I mean the kind of listening that is also tuned to silence. Since being away, I've met a lot of weirdos. Pot smokers and speed freaks. But I've found out how to tell the beautiful people from the phonies. I might come home someday. But right now, I've got to do what's right for me. Mom, don't cry. And Daddy, take care of yourself. No matter what, I'll always love you both.
Go ahead, little caller. You're on the air.
Hi. First of all, I'd really like to thank you for that recipe for boiled genitals. Much tastier than expected. Secondly, you know how last week they said the women are the property of the state?
And they are here.
We didn't say that. Clone said it.
Well, I'd like to make the full commitment and become the property of Bob. Now, how do I make this donation?
Stick around and we'll get to you
Actually, we'll
off
be taking
the air.
your number off the air.
Excuse me?
I said we'll be taking your number off the air. We've got plans for you, yes. We've got we've got a squad for you, yes.
Will you send them over real quick?
You betcha.
Praise Jehovah.
Oh, she hung up. Oh, she went away.
Well, it was because maybe she knew believers can look for greater prosecution in the years ahead.
But she was the only one who understood me. Her and the time lady.
It's okay, Dogsomatic. Many Subgeni may become martyrs because of their testimony for Bob and Jehovah One. See the prescriptures.
She was my fantasy caller.
1612. And the voice that girl had.
Out of the erupting volcano of self-destruction. Yes?
Now put that caller in the holding cell. Put him in the holding cell. Get another one up here. Ooh, my lips tingle. They don't know what's coming up in the future, and my goodness, I think their morales need a boost. I think there's a guy with a camouflage jacket who's very close to a phone, and he's got white hair too. And he's afraid of what'll happen to him if he calls us.
And he has the words slack tattooed on his right upper arm.
And on a treasure map on his skull, tattooed there at birth by his loving mother.
With some
family fortune.
Mysterious island in the Malaysias drawn into.
Along the 23rd parallel. If you see this man in Arcata, stop him and shave his head. If you can cajole him into a barber shop with maybe a wax donut or two, just string it along in front of his nose, he'll follow. Maybe some art supplies. Lure him right in. Mind control. Fantastic. Yes, how many beer I had before I saw the flying saucers.
I believe, yeah. When we went into Pina Monday, they apparently captured a great deal of stuff from that. They got some scientists and they got a lot of hardware also. Apparently they split a lot of this up with the Russians. And
the weapons technology that they've been using, do you know how much of that has made it over into the United States? I mean, like the Excalibur weapon and things like that?
The pictures of the stealth bomber on TV, I couldn't find any vapor trails. Now, I don't know if it's just like I didn't see them and they were there, but in the news clippings I saw, they were curiously absent.
You notice you never get a view of the stealth bomber from behind? You never see it. You never see a photograph of it from behind?
I did just recently. Just recently I started seeing pictures where they were definitely showing vapor trails.
I thought that was because they didn't want you to see the little plastic stand that it stood on.
You were getting close to the edge of the silk screen and back.
Listen, Jason, I understand you were a participant in some sorts of the infamous Hudson Valley UFO sightings.
Yeah.
You care to elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, that's a really beautiful occurrence. What happened was this: about 3.5 years ago, I think, a huge triangle. It was an overcast night in the Hudson Valley. I was walking through Hastings, which is next door to Dobbs Ferry. And I looked up, and I saw a huge triangle, and outlined of yellow lights in the form of a triangle. I believe there were about 7 or 8 lights. I'm not sure.
Not the use of the word believe.
But moving very, very slowly across the sky.
Excuse me, did you say your last name was Progenitor?
It was overcast night, so I couldn't really judge. There wasn't any light, so I couldn't really judge, how big it was or how far up it was.
You're in league with the devil.
But, suffice to say that
does the word Satan ring a bell, pal?
Formation, and they were utterly silent. It was very
words.
So I can guarantee that it was not,
You can guarantee
it.
So this was on a different night from the supposed Cessna formation.
Well, the next night, the government went out.
We'll need it in writing, pal.
I mentioned this to my friend Steve.
Let me guess, it was 420, wasn't it?
We saw that. The night after we saw that, the government, for unnamed financial sources, paid a number of pilots.
Let's get several callers
to fly information over the Hudson Valley.
Where was that reported?
I'm sorry?
I said, where was that reported?
Where was that reported?
Where was that little caller with black hair? Where was the caller with the black hair and the pretty little eyes? What was she doing up, soldier? Anybody hear about Oral Roberts walking through the desert and he was confronted by a 900-foot Jesus? That was another time when you need funding for something else. We don't know what we're dealing with, or we have not seen anything like this take place in such a short period of time. Suddenly, even people in churches find themselves victims of the crime wave. Clergymen find it necessary to hire guards. to protect the parking lots and the offering doors of the church. They're bolted during service. Last year, nearly 2,500 crimes of all types were committed against houses of worship in Arcata alone.
Ouch, gosh. Smells like a friend of mine, huh?
That'll teach you. Careers in broadcasting. Dog.
He smells like a good friend of mine.
He does not. He's green like it. You there, with the camouflage jacket. Pick up your phone. Dial 826-4805. Here comes one. Who's next? Guess with the phases of the moon and all, it was a heavy drinking night downtown. Yeah, they're doing broccoli now. Like that guy who was freebasing iodized salt. Industrial strength.
I kind of like the fact that nobody's calling in. It gives us time to, kick back and relax here on the show veranda, sipping our hot buttered rum martinis and...
Yeah, the outdoor studio they got up at KSHU now is really fine. I mean, from our view, we've actually got...
Go ahead, little caller, you're off the air.
I can actually see the stars from up here. Oh, do we have a caller? Could you hold my rum for me while I get the phone? Okay. Ah, yes. Press 1 now. To erase your soul memories from your previous life, press 2 now. For the home sonic lobotomy, press 3 now. Oh. Hand me one of those cigars there, Dogzomatic. One rolled on the plump thighs of a Cuban woman.
One of these big Cuban cigars rolled on the thigh of a big plump Cuban woman? Is that what you said?
Yes, the bronze thighs of a Cuban woman. Spun a fatty just for me and you. I'm gonna crawl up into the dish and catch some rays, okay? Much better. Get out of the city. Get out of the city. Duff, yo, and homie.
Yeah, I was on my way over here to the studio tonight, and I was out there on that road that runs out in front of 101 there, and
Lakewood.
There's some old boy out there picking up trash.
Where's Lakewood?
Apparently somebody had dumped their trash over on the side of the road, and he was real disgusted, and I just kind of pulled over and stopped and helped him out and all that good stuff, and he, I turned around to shake his hand, and he he practically accused me of throwing the trash out there. He goes, "This is what I got away from the goddamn city for."
For shame, Doc.
And then, being the good Samaritan he was, he threw everything over the side of the road and said, "Oh, Caltrans will pick it up."
Well, did you tell him about Caltrans? What fine men they are. That $23 an hour shovel holder. Oh. A friend of mine, speaking of Caltrans, a friend of mine was up out Willow Creek way, and he used to live out there. He was downtown Willow Creek and walking past Caltrans office, and he looked in the window, and everyone was sitting watching a film. And on the Caltrans film...
Is this a spooky story, Dr. Bogomil?
It's a spooky story. Why is Caltrans doing this? Okay.
We need a spooky story this time of morning.
So he walks past, he looks in the window, and there's the Caltrans film going on. And he can't hear the words, but he can see everyone is watching the screen. And on the screen is a man in a kind of a Dr. Science lab coat, and he has an easel behind him. And he points with his pointer to an orange card. And then he lifts the orange card up, and there's a big word in black bold letters that says, communism. And then he puts the orange card back up and speaks to the orange card for a while. And Cedar had a friend who worked for Caltrans and was in the room at the time and tried to get his attention, but he, couldn't see him from the glass, and he didn't want to tap and have the whole class turn around. So later on, he asked his friend when they got out, he said, what kind of film are you watching? And he goes... what do you mean? He goes, the film you were just watching? It's really confusing. And he goes, yeah, it's kind of confusing, but it gets easier after you've seen it a couple times. And he said, I don't really know what the film's about. But what do Caltrans workers want to know about communism? You ever notice how pervasive they are? They seem to be everywhere at once. True story, children. It happened. It did. Well, it's an in-studio appearance by none other than Mae Brussel. She's walking right...
It's now or never, because people are catching on. Maybe you don't understand that, but it looks very refined and nice. That's why they call it a strategic defense initiative. It's not defense. All the evidence is it's a first strike. There's no defense there. David, wouldn't you agree that NASA was always military?
Well, within 2 weeks of the time that, let me go back about a month or so on KPFA. William Mandel had Rusty, he's sort of the resident saint of KPFA. He had Rusty Schweikert on there talking about what are we going to do for space. So Rusty Schweikert says, well, the problem is here on Earth we have all this pollution, and right above us we have the source for all the energy we need. All we need to do is get machines out in space to collect the solar energy, and there's the answer to our energy needs. Now, if you go to Project Paperclip, written by Clarence Lasby, copyright 1971 by the Athenian Press, they will talk about the first debriefing of the German scientists right after they got them out of Nordhausen. A man named Major Robert Staver from Caltech was the first guy to interview them, and within 2 weeks after the E-Day, 3 months before the
Project Paperclip.
he was talking about a plan to put huge...
I don't think they debriefed this guy quite correctly, did they?
to collect solar energy, which would have...
So some of that residual...
it's your special brand of energy freak.
Some of that residual jello left around the mouth, sort of like that last caller we had.
In January, an article came out in Los Angeles Times, which talked about how that Star Wars is
Jason Storm, the Paperclip Man.
and burned cities instantly, and that's exactly what they were working 2 weeks after the E-Day.
What of the happenings in Dobbs Ferry? Can we get a word in?
1952, they were that Stover from Stanford.
May, you're stepping on me.
This person in the United States.
May, calm down. We're gonna have to slap you around.
May, if I can get a word in edgewise.
See, it's better than atomic bombs because there's no pollution or anything. You just start over. You burn out a certain part of a town, you come in.
May, do us all a favor and blow your nose.
Washington Post had an article last week. We're now going into the third generation of atomic bombs. They need another 20 million because first there was the atomic bomb and then the hydrogen bomb, and now
to support your coke habit.
The hydrogen bomb and the Star Wars presentation for Ronald Reagan in 1983 has come up with a third. They talk about the microwave and scorching the earth. You don't want a bunch of nosy little school teachers up there thinking that it really is for everybody. What if you really got up there and found out?
Teachers in space. Yes. Yeah, Teachers in Space. Mae Brussel had a line on it.
Signed up one. We'll see her picture for 2 years. But that's not the point. It gives the illusion of the continuity that will always
We have something special in the mail for the next 3 callers. 826-4805. And I promise it won't blow up when you open it. You there. Wake up. You're dozing off.
True slack. Like Mooney's, they wouldn't know true slack if it crawled up their ass in the form of an eagle snake. Not that slack often takes the form of an eagle snake crawling up your ass, but
when you help the shepherd, you help the flock. Friends are going to try to sell you Bob Dobbs on a silver platter. A cleaned up Bob. A fancy Bob. A newfangled Bob. Not quite as spooky and abnormal as he once was. My friend, you best fear the day when J.R. Bob Dobbs becomes as wholesome as he looks. Because on that day, my friend, your paychecks shall crumble. Your 3-room condos shall fall to the ground. You'll be tearing your face in agony, trying to say, Bob, come back to me.
They must be taught that Bob is not the answer, and neither is anything else.
What do you think about that, caller?
Ooh, let it ring. Let it ring. We've got something special for you in the mail, pal.
Let's go over that again. You say you saw some sort of dinosaurs?
No. I would like to know. Can I have slack without Bob?
Not if you're working for Caltrans.
Not true slack.
Well, what's the difference between everyday slack and Bob slack?
You have to send us $1 to our sacred P.O. box to find that out.
Or triple your money back.
But we're not allowed to take that $1. We have to turn around and give it back to KHSU 90.5 FM.
You're in your socks, aren't you?
But see, what's confusing me is what...
You're wearing your socks, aren't you?
No, of course not.
Go ahead, son. Spit it out. Spit it out.
Are you wearing slacks?
Yeah.
Put on a pair of slacks.
No, I have no clothes on.
It's those damn socks.
Well, neither do we. We're out on the veranda. It's heated up here.
He's all high and mighty because he got himself a new pair of socks today. Go ahead, little caller.
Waitress, another butterscotch.
I'm just curious as to what about all the people before Bob? Did they have slack?
Before Bob?
Before Bob?
Who was before Bob?
You mean like all the Buddhists are going to fry in hell because they didn't know Christ?
Right.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, Pink Boy.
Bob was around before them.
When was Bob born?
1953.
1957?
No one before Bob?
Or the year 53. No. It's not the originator.
Huh. I just find that hard to believe.
It's in the book. It's in the book.
Would that be like Dianetics?
Yeah. Nothing like Dianetics. Except that we are renting space from the Church of Spiritual Technology for storage of our sacred documents. This tape, caller, will be stored in the vault outside Petrolia. Your voice is now forever entombed on a gold disc.
Good. It's really good.
So after?
The post office is alive in Eureka. It's going through your mail in Eureka. The post office is alive.
Ooh. The spooky caller.
So there you've heard it, folks. From a postal official himself, they are reading your mail.
Yeah, he wasn't lying. Use lots of tape. Use lots of tape and staples. Well, but the poor guy hung up too quickly.
Oh my God, they've shot him again.
Who, Tippett? Oswald?
Yeah, and then that Bob Black guy came up there and kind of shot the guy who shot the guy who shot the guy. You know that Bob Black's problem, don't you?
Hey, I want to
go out and get himself a job.
I want to have a frank discussion with you.
Could it be that the reign of Bob on Earth is ended?
Hell no.
Warming over the Subgenius joke 10 years too late.
Has lived in vain.
You guys didn't date in high school. Neither did I.
I dated too much in high school. That was my problem.
Yep. I about wore him out.
Wait, let's listen to what this guy has to say here.
And after the last one, we heard the sirens go off again just about a minute and a half ago.
Downtown. No. If you don't chicken out and hang up quick, we got surprises for you. We got lots of them. A big stack right here just waiting for addresses. Chicken. Well, how about the Cerebral Vortex?
Yeah, we got all those tapes too, man. We sent off our $20.
Oh, geez, I hope not. Well, no, actually, I hope you did.
Go ahead, little caller, you're off the air.
Hi. You know how, like, we're trying to avoid pinkness, of course. I've been watching
At
a
all
lot of
costs.
television, and if you notice, they pointed out for you. All the pink people, they dress like it. Look at Love Connection. The whole place is washed down in Pepto-Bismol.
Love Connection.
Oh, baby, talk to
The
me.
pinkest of the pink. Mary Hart, does she ever wear anything but pink? Vanna White?
Hey, you've got a point there.
They're so obvious about it. They're just totally helping us out. So anytime you see pink on television,
They're
check it
mocking.
out.
They're mocking you.
Pink or oversprayed hair. Oversprayed hair is a real.
You mean kind of like a bouffant encrusted thought police?
Yeah, like
to
Ted
borrow
Koppel.
a phrase from one of our friends. That's a very sharp eye you've got there. I think we're going to have to make you a media watchdog for the Subgenius show.
Well, hell, sign me up.
Well, let's dispatch one of the guards. Wait, get that cocktail waitress over there. Honey, could you head downtown and sign this woman up for me? Thank you. Give me a beer. Yeah, sign her up. Thanks. And a rum and coke before you go. Okay. Thank you.
And can I get a side order of slack?
It's en route.
Thanks a mucho.
Muchas to you too.
You're such a star.
I don't care myself.
Yeah.
Psycho, Mr. Nazi, Mr. Pinhead, Mr. President,
See, and
Mr. Smart Guy, Mr. Sex Fiend, Mr. Microphone, Mr. Mass Murderer, Mr. Sputnik, Mr. Death, Mr. Lipstick Boy, Mr. Big Guy, Mr. Pinhead.
I don't want to hear any more of it.
Pinhead, Mr. President,
See, and
Mr. Smart Guy, Mr. Sex Fiend, Mr. Microphone, Mr. Mass Murderer, Mr. Sputnik, Mr. Death, Mr.
Let's this guy get a life,
Boy,
man.
Mr. Big Guy, Mr.
Don't
Pinhead.
call us.
I don't want to hear any more.
That's Frank Bennett.
Stand up, it'll feel real good to get out of bed and smoke a cigarette.
Because it's like 420, dude, and like, we do it all over.
Yeah.
420, man.
No, ugly, huh?
Okay, it seems as if the president is arriving now. Here
Quick,
at
shoot.
the studio. So we'll be going to the lawn for a full report.
I'm going to talk to another one of you 420 dudes. You guys are in for it. As far as cults go,
Here we are.
you're on the outs with us.
Yes, we are. 23.
You've not got a
Plate
chance.
department, you will be reimbursed. Now, one at a time.
That is if you're not all too
50,000
sleepy.
people there, and it took them 3 days to destroy one piano. I thought it was pitiful. Really pitiful.
Really?
Really. Get away from me, you baggage.
Some old lady with a shock prod. Oh well.
Call her up.
But it was a pretty pink shot.
If I could just outrun the guards, I could probably get out of here.
Don't go with Billy Sunday.
826-4805.
About an hour ago.
Next thing you know, it'll be coming to you in your mail. You won't be able to escape it.
You're on the Subgenius Death Ship. We approach San Francisco. Our mission, destroy.
After annihilating Arcata.
Help me, please.
Anything.
We hear you there.
Help me, please.
Just let it ring.
Has this ever happened to you?
We're getting a lock on your wardrobe.
Remove all humans from container area 6.
Okay, we have a lock on your wardrobe. It's a polyester double knit. This caller is wearing slacks.
666 or something like that.
And polyester socks.
666.
No
The stupid
t-shirt.
part is that he's a Subgenius too.
That's right.
Right there. Yep.
But
You
so many questions remain on.
cross your legs.
Some investigators insist that
Let it ring. Don't worry about your ears there.
a patsy, a fall guy for a concealed cadre of trained gunmen, clumsy attempts at a cover-up have only served to...
Ah, yes. Now, both of you, we hear you both ringing there.
Grown nuts now, even given the fine...
Right. Oh, wow. All 10 of you.
The Haiti Commission, that bunch of frauds, those fools, jackanapes, apes.
You know Senator Edmonds?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he's a personal friend of mine. I
And his
used to
wife,
go
Helen.
water skiing with his beautiful
Take him
wife.
off into the holding area.
Yes. Helen.
On that black day,
Call waiting. Hello.
Bob! Bobby! Bobarama! Bobmeister! Hanging out with the Bob Man!
Dude, it's that 420 dude again.
How's it hanging? It's going down! Bob!
Yeah, well.
Well.
Tell you what, breathe deeply for a little while. I'll get the helium out. Okay, keep breathing. Good. Now move over to the acetylene tank. Pick up a big hit of acetylene, a little bit of oxygen. Now ready? Exhale and light. Go. Good. Ah, yes. That'll take care of that larynx problem.
Dobbs himself, in which an unwitting decoy look-alike was sacrificed so that...
Who's going to come to the altar?
The good fight in secrecy...
826-4805, give us your soul.
Not entirely unlike Paul McCartney.
We don't just have bombs and explosions, we've got knives and guns.
If your Bob is dead,
If there are any infants, virgins,
try mine.
male or female.
And don't chicken out and
hang up. I'm telling you, we got something for you.
My friends, the conspiracy is like this big machine that's rolling towards the edge of a cliff. And so far, Bob Dobbs has been the little monkey wrench that was slowing it down. Well, ever since that alleged assassination, that monkey wrench may not be in that big machine anymore. You know what that means? That means you have to pick up where Bob Dobbs left off.
Will you be the last Bob, or will you surrender to hopelessness? Remember, this might just be his way of testing you. Actually, these choices were already made for you at the beginning of time. So, do it. Join the church and gaze upon your own naked destiny.
Keep that hate burning!
On the altar of God, eternal hostility to every form of tyranny over the mind of man. That is why the clergy oppose me. That's not, all that is on the Jefferson Monument in Washington, except the last sentence. They left that out in the interest of brevity.
So let us march onward, harvesting the souls of the infidels, heedless of blood spilled or money spent. For in this nameless mission, our destinies are written.
The boss of the church office of Subgenius is, fuck them if they can't take a joke.
The church of the Subgenius was only a few brave fools tugging at the shoelaces of the Colossus. Today, it has already become the Zorro of world religions, scratching a bloody bee on the bloated buttocks of the conspiracy.
This whole thing, this whole Subgenius Church, is just so crazy that it just might work. The conspiracy has 50,000 nuclear weapons, and the Church of the Subgenius, we've only got 3. But yet we dare to fight them anyway, and that's the miracle of it.
Sweater is changed from his t-shirt is being moved out toward an armored car. Being let out by Captain Fritz. There is the prisoner. Do you have anything to say in your defense? There's a shot. Oswald has a shot. Oswald has a shot. Mass confusion here. Shot rang out as he was led
representing you as far as the delegate votes go. I think it's always Dr. Struggle for it. Senator Kennedy has been shot. Is that possible? Is that possible? It's good. Ladies and gentlemen, it is possible. He has not only Senator Kennedy, oh my God, Senator Kennedy has been shot, and another man, a Kennedy campaign manager, and possibly shot in the head. I am right here. Rayford Johnson has a hold of a man who apparently has fired the shot. He has fired the shot. He still has the gun. The gun is pointed at me at this moment. I hope they can get the gun out of his hand. Be very careful. Get the gun. Get the gun. Get the gun. Stay away from the gun. Stay away from the gun. His hand is frozen. Get his stop. Get his stop. Get the gun. Get the gun. Get the gun. Let's break it if you have to. A shot rang out as he was led.
If you think there's nothing wrong with the world, then don't listen to this show. If you're offended by your own sick rage when listening to programs alien to your repressive behavior code, go ahead and listen, but do not, I repeat, do not record it. The Subgenius radio shows may drive you crazy. The Roman Catholic Church has driven people crazy. Scientology has driven people crazy. So has Islam, the Boy Scouts, Satanism, the U.S. government, Judaism, traffic jams, LSD, the CIA, television, war, and peace. This radio show will not drive subgeniuses crazy. It will give them the slack they need to drive others crazy. The Subgenius Foundation is not responsible for the actions of individuals which may result from their listening to this program. Any resemblance by characters on this program to any person living or dead, except where intended for direct satirical purposes, is strictly coincidental. That's right. It's all a big joke. The conspiracy, what a laugh. 3,000 children a day starving to death in Mexico City. Radioactive waste canisters rotting in the ocean. Mind control by horrible secret societies. Conspiracy. Savings and loan scandal.
Bye, folks. That's all for this week.